what do we get in return? Supposing they say, all right, we don't pay back for the, we are not able to pay back for the looms, loom ले जाओ. तो banks become owners of the loom. और हम लोग को क्या करें? हम लोग को कैसे चलाएं? So this is the question they put it to the textile commissioner. तो टेक्सटाइल कमिश्नर बोला, सुरेश भाई इसका जवाब दो. मैं क्या जवाब दूँ? मैं इतना लोन लेके मेरी बैंक चलाना, तो उन लोगों को पूछो, मैनेजिंग डायरेक्टर को. मैं कुछ नहीं कह सकता, मैं तो कॉटन और टेक्सटाइल में हूँ, मैं कुछ फाइनेंस जानता नहीं हूँ. तो द होल थिंग वेंट इनटू जीरो.
Not only that, in fact, we studied Malegaon pattern for Mr. Doshi only. We went there, we studied that.
So you were there, no? You attended some of the meetings. Yes, I know.
And we found that these people, the owners, they don't have any documents. They don't have their property documents. They don't have any rupee document to show to the bank that they should finance.
Yes, sir.
So in fact, where he is working, all his clients are in that particular mode. So it is very difficult to give solution just like that. That's why I would suggest, maybe as he rightly suggested, Isal Karanji as a one role model, and then we see what are their problems.
Study that, exactly. But we can, sorry.
Because FITMA and all, they are too big, and then it is a small issue for them. But if at all we go with a one proper solution, and Isal Karanji is growing like anything as far as weaving.
I agree with you. So my suggestion is something, if we can woo the associations, that because they know the weaver, if some kind of guarantees or some kind of securities banks are getting some assurances, some securities, the money will flow. Then secondly, where to get the looms from?
Yeah.
Where to get the looms from? Airjet, this, that. Some of them may be doing, but then there are only some. But what India needs is much more. As far as I understand, if my statistics is correct, so we have only 2 or 5% only the good loom.
But the population total loom must not be more than 1 lakh spindle.
No, it's changing. No. I think. Let me put proper working perspective to it. First, finance is not a problem. Raising money is not a problem to any of my promoters.
Lovely. So फिर जब
what the problem is, 3 years back, as you said, they are, as you said, herd mentality. So now who will put the first exit? जब तक 5 नहीं डालो तो मैं कैसे डालूं, और जब तक 5 डलेंगे कैसे जब तक पहला कोई नहीं डालेगा. I have this particular experience that, forget everything else, 40 kilometers from here, Bhiwandi.
Okay. Desert हो गया.
नहीं सर.
Bhiwandi is humming, sir.
Humming?
Once you visit Bhiwandi, you won't find any data, any viewer saying market is not good. Point.
अब नहीं हो.
Positive people, all positive people there. Bhiwandi, Surat, positive people.
नहीं, फर्क थोड़ा इतना आ गया है, they are no longer positive. वो आते बोलते हैं कि नहीं साहब शरद भाई बहुत खराब है. बोलता है चाय पीते हैं, बोलता है अच्छा 12 लूम का और प्रोजेक्ट बना दो क्या करें. That's the difference. Now there the issue that I particularly found as a textile technologist, probably I was able to overcome that in installing the airjet loom. And since they are Marwadis, they are experts in finance. We could prove to them on paper that installing a 30 lakh airjet loom is worth your while against whatever second-hand machines you are importing or whatever. But then एक ही बोला कि भिवंडी में ये मशीन इतने स्पीड पे चलेगी नहीं.
क्यों?
It's a mental block ना. भिवंडी में आज तक चली नहीं है तो आज चलेगी नहीं. अब then how I could overcome it? They get stuck in भिवंडी. भिवंडी में नहीं चली है. So then what we did is ठीक है, I have some reputation.
सोनाली गांव में लगा बोले हैं.
सोनाली में ही लगी प्रोजेक्ट हमारी. Sonali
village near Bhiwandi.
So then we took them to Ichal Karanji. Then we told them, "Hey, India में तो है ना." So 3 years back, I had to really question it. So the issues where they are hesitating or where they are having problems is slightly different. That is why when I said if you get into Ichal Karanji, get into that laboratory,
that pocket,
you interact with them, understand कि what are the issues that they are facing. दूसरा उनको ये होता है कि मैंने 40 लूम डाल दिए, इससे ज्यादा मैं डालूंगा तो संभाल नहीं पाऊंगा. The other fear is
management.
Because they are not trained, they don't have the system.
Don't
जितना वो देख सकता है उतना वो करता है. जितने CCTV लगाए, जितने 16 CCTV कवर कर लेंगे उतना वो इंडस्ट्री लगाएगा.
So I think
that
Saraji
is,
has put his point well. So let us
I think move forward
a
also.
little, and we will come back to a common discussion because we want everybody's issues and solution to be addressed first. Recorded first.
ને આ આપણે પૂરું કરીને સોલ્યુશન સહિત મૂકીએ પછી શું પછી બીજું આપણે લઈ લઈએ એટલે કે it will
So
take time but
I'll just give a brief solution. मेरे हिसाब से हो सकता है. Engaging them personally on an informal level first. They will respond to that. They will not respond to association.
So
Let
shall
me
they-
be very, very honest. And this is the thing. Start with HL currently. Let our team or appointed person go around, have a sort of survey, one-to-one, understand what are their issues that they really have, and then come up with some solutions to them. Whatever their fears that are there, how to address them.
તો એક કામ કરીએ we only take a tentative decision.
Right.
The tentative decision is this group under the banner of either the value chain magazine or along with
Textile Association, there is our unit is in Teacher Karanji, in a DKT, we can take the lead.
So what we can do is form a group of the like-minded people and call a group. If there's a group for positive thinking on textiles.
Right.
Okay.
So we must have an identity. That
Identity, and then we decide to go to Tichalkar.
Okay.
All ourselves.
Yeah.
That sir, we have come to
Absolutely.
understand, and this group is a positive group to
Provide solutions.
provide solutions and go together with you. And there is nobody is X to get. This is not a business thing.
Right.
So
We have got also contacts in HL Karanji, how the customer base is there.
we all pool our contacts.
We can
And we use a banner, either Textile Association along with Value Chain magazine gives us a banner, and this whole forum will be known as Positive Thinkers on Textiles or something, which you will adopt.
See, why don't we organize a one-day seminar in Nichil Karanji?
सेमिनार करो, सेमिनार भी करो, लेकिन 1-to-1 ज्यादा सबको मिला.
आप सेमिनार करने से पहले समझ लो
हाँ,
उनको
समझ
क्या है,
लो।
उनकी जरूरत क्या है.
जरूरत.
Rather what as you said, generally the feeling is
We can
finance
have
की week है.
interactive conclave or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But that is a matter of organization.
जी.
वो अपने नक्की करे. So इसका जो ये नक्की हो गया है, तो let us take it as a resolution कि this forum takes this to resolve this. तो क्या होगा, तो कुछ positive काम होगा.
Right.
तो बोलो, ये resolution તમે बनाओ, मत बोलो जिग्ना, तो आप you must
And
take a
since
lead.
if we do it in a
I don't
small
know.
listing nature currently, we will also be to evaluate ourselves how much impact we are really able to make.
Yeah.
What are the hurdles we come in interacting with those people?
But I take you on your word
Yeah,
that finance is not a problem.
they will always tell you it's a
No.
problem. They will always tell you it's a problem.
But actually then we will have to prove, because we can otherwise talk to government that
Very frankly, government can't do anything more. They have the amount of subsidy and the interest that is being given.
ऐसा नहीं करेंगे.
Hmm.
गवर्नमेंट को ऐसा मिले कि now for example I will give one solution.
Hmm.
Okay, for example, Textile Association of India or FITMA or this association, they all stand guarantee कि भाई इतना मेंबर जिसने हमारे पे सही किया है उसको जो आप फाइनेंस देंगे तो वो फाइनेंस की श्योरिटी रहेगी, और एंड द मनी विल फ्लो. हाउ मच मनी will flow like anything.
I think let's do that survey. Once we find, see everyone finds money short.
Yeah.
So first off, he will always
No,
say
but-
कि मेरे को पैसा नहीं मिलता है, 30% सब्सिडी है फिर भी सब कम पड़ता है पैसा, 2% इंटरेस्ट देना है फिर भी इंटरेस्ट रेट इज टू हाई.
उसका जवाब क्या देने का, वो आपको नक्की करना है.
हाँ सब, बिकॉज 2% इंटरेस्ट रेट है, अब उससे कम क्या कर दोगे आप? वीविंग इज
नील तो नहीं कर सकते.
हाँ,
क्योंकि देखिए एक बात समझे,
some of my clients are actually at 0% interest rate.
when you engage in dialogue, they are going to tell their difficulties only.
Right.
But so either we must have solutions. immediately.
We have to understand and segregate what is a genuine reason, what is
Yeah,
their genuine
genuine
problem,
problem.
and that is
Okay.
where expertise
So
of
this will be-
experts like us comes in. Na? We
So
will be
this
able
will
to
be-
see beyond that.
This will be exploratory for the solutions.
Absolutely.
What about studies too?
Study
And then we can understand what actually is spinning them, because if he is not trained, he will not tell me I am not trained. He will
So
say this
we
person
can-
is not okay, that person is
So
not
what
okay.
we can take all India study tour step by step for each issue.
Yeah.
And
Segment.
we find out and say that this is what, and then we can, I mean, he is also near to the government, you are all near to the government, and we can tell government, Baba, this is what we have gone there and seen, and this is what you do.
Sir, can I,
Yeah, please.
I think from the news which is coming out from HR Kurunji, I've read it the newspaper and all. I think recently RBI Deputy Governor also was there. He was also highlighting. One thing is about the brand. See, why India is not known in the world about because we don't have an India brand. That is one thing because they make I think cloth and it is going to Bhilwara and all for the process. Now what happened recently, Rajasthan government implemented the environmental norms. 700 units has closed down. So this is what you call the sustainability thing. Actually, nobody is seeing the textile sector as a one whole thing. Actually. Everybody is wanted to compartmentalize it and take maximum out of it. That's why everybody is going down together.
Right.
See, unless and until, as Suresh are saying, you have to somebody has to stand up and see as a whole thing. It's a comprehensive kind of a thing.
Now, if I may add a note, probably a SAR note, or maybe I don't know, out of place, chota mo badi baat. But I think that is typically what is happening. RBI going over there, talking to them about brands in Nichal Karanji. It's not going to make any sense to anyone. Today, I have my client, right? He is going all over the market, mein mandi hai, ye hai, wo hai, whatever. If he walks into an exporter tomorrow and that exporter tells him, okay, here are 50 lakh meter ka order, he can't execute it.
Yes, that's the main problem.
That is the biggest problem. When I say they're fragmented, they want orders and they can't execute orders.
No, that is because they are looking at the short term only.
No, they don't have the capacity, sir. They don't have the capacity because he has got only 40 looms.
As Suresh sir says, actually capacity, what happened was, if you see, last 10 years we have been implementing tough. 3 trillion rupees have been invested. What is the result? 2 segments have been brought down, weaving and processing. All investment has gone into spinning, that kind of thing. See, that is the thing. You have to look at the sector as a whole. Don't look at that.
When I meant to RBI, I meant in terms of our engagement. The way we have to engage differently from.
Now let us take a point out of the situation.
Right.
What he says is, RBI ने जाके तो जैसे वो मैनेजमेंट एक्सपर्ट ने भाषण ठोक दिया कि देखो ब्रांड होनी चाहिए इंडिया की, इंडिया ब्रांड बराबर है, ओके, बट व्हाट इज टू बी सीन आउट ऑफ ब्रांड इज समथिंग डिफरेंट इन माय ओपिनियन. व्हाट इज ब्रांड? Brand is a bonding. If you use the brand, whether people would realize or not, in recently in Madhya Pradesh, what I have done is, I told those people that they said, Shankar gets a high price, our cotton is better than this. So why don't you also give better cotton than Shankar and brand your cotton? And also let everybody in your association sign that we will adhere to this brand, we will give this kind of surety, and people have signed. And you know what brand has been done? The brand is Narmada. And they have taken a vow, but they are not following seriously. I said, understand one point, brand is a bonding. So this bonding gives you what? Now say for example, you have used bonding as an instrument to brand Ichal Karanji.
Absolutely.
Ichal Karanji. Ichal Karanji ki brand lage. Ichal Karanji, supposing Ichha brand. For example, I am just talking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now Ichha brand जिसने किया तो उसको एसोसिएशन पे सही करना पड़ेगा, उसको पैसा भी मिलेगा, because brand is about, और जो वो चलेगा नहीं डिसिप्लिन से तो he cannot use the brand because brand की अथॉरिटी किसके पास रहेगी? एसोसिएशन के पास. So, how to utilize the brand? There are so many ways in which brand can be utilized. I will tell you. I have traveled China a lot. I have traveled a number of countries. Brand, when they have put a brand, they have used brand as a bond. If you only talk about brand, हमारा brand होना चाहिए. No, that doesn't give you a brand. Brand as a bonding and a sustainability promise. A bonding and a sustainability promise only makes a brand. So brand is an instrument. If you can use that instrument fully well, so brand instrument इचलकरण जी को बताना पड़ेगा अपने को कि देखो हमारी ब्रांड भी हो सकती है. इचलकरण जी का नाम सारा दुनिया में हो सकता है. वो आपका नाम इच्छा ब्रांड रहेगा. तो जैसे now
Vision that.
but then you have to sell the vision.
Yeah.
You will have to sell the vision.
And you have to take responsibility for execution.
Brand is an instrument.
Yes.
See, another thing with them, because I am a consultant, he is a consultant, and they are up till here with consultants. Absolutely. The moment you walk in, बोले आपको तो क्या आना है, बात करना और चले जाना.
और मुफ्त में कंसल्टेंसी फी लेके चलो.
हाँ. So what they are looking for is you walk the talk. They are open to ideas.
उसीलिए मैं
They
क्या
are
कहता हूँ.
open to innovation.
That's why I say that when.
So then we'll have to take. कि भाई we will create this brand for you.
No, the point is that's why I requested Guru that we proceed because this is the weakest area of textiles. So I wanted this to be complete. और इसको करके जो let me tell you friends, if we are able to strengthen weaving, you will strengthen India by 30 to 40%. Then only process remains. You will immediately start competing many countries of the world.
Let's make a beginning. Let's see.
And your suggestion is very good. Your pointer is very good, and everybody's contribution is also very good.
So actually,
कैसा लगता है झुंझुनवाला साहब?
एक बात मैं आप सप्लीमेंट करना चाहूँगा. अभी recently there was a seminar on polyester. Shadi Rishi was there. They were talking that in China there are 3,000 looms in one shed, 2,000 looms in one shed. We as a friend of textile has to understand what prevents Indian entrepreneur to put that 3,000 looms in one shed. Money is not an issue, and weaving the investment is also not very high compared to spinning and processing. The investment is also not very high. What is preventing the Indian entrepreneur
Professional management.
to
Professional.
to put
The fear.
to put the 500 looms or 100 looms? Because the day of yesterday I was sitting with my management and I was telling them if your weaving capacity is utilized, at least put up 24 looms. No. 24 looms नहीं लगाएंगे, हम बाहर से outsource कर लेंगे, सस्ता मिल जाता है और मिल जाता है. तो we have to understand that what prevents the putting of a 3,000 looms shed.
I think my suggestion for you to interact is because then you'll get a better idea. Over the 15 or 18 years that I have been interacting and doing projects with them, I can share with you later. Why? One is the unstated fear that he will not be able to handle it.
Unstated fear.
That he will not be able to handle it. It comes from his lack of confidence in himself because he is not professionally trained. Since he is not professionally trained, he is not able to handle professionals. And he knows beyond a certain level he has to have professionals. Right? That is one thing. Second thing is, in the way they have grown or the way sector has grown, by the time the unit is coming to this ripe stage where they can think of 100, 200 loom lots to be put in, it is the father who is now approaching 50, 55, 56. And in our family ethos, they remain the decision maker. And by the time he is reaching that stage, क्या करना है? क्या करोगे?
He has lost the
किसको
war.
लिए लेना है? And then he has seen the golden days. इससे तो 10-20% में तब कमाता था. अब इतना करके no. And then even if I have seen, because the second generation is now in most of my factories, even if the second generation wants to take a leap, they don't have the technical competence to properly argue and present and convince their fathers.
शरद जी थोड़ा सा मतलब करता हूँ. मेरा ये कहना है कि अपने तो we are not talking about SMEs only. मेरा ये कहना है कि
I think
what prevents Rajasthan spinning from putting away 1,000 looms? What prevents Reliance Industries to put 1,000 looms or 3,000 looms in one shed?
इसमें भी एक इंटरेस्टिंग शेयर करता हूँ. उसमें people can throw a light.
Also should come
See
out,
what
correct?
you started and what he is trying to add, that weaving. Now weaving being a weakest sector of the economy, he is talking in terms of economy.
Right.
SME has its own problems, yes. So SME problems, say for example I am answering, they could be answered with clustering approach,
Yeah.
number one.
Yeah.
Or some kind of producers company approach.
Right.
Or that
Whatever,
we
whatever.
can give.
Yeah.
we
Textile
can
park,
give solution.
textile park partly addresses this issue. I think.
But what
It
he
was
says,
supposed to.
But
It
it's not
has gone
like
the
that.
opposite way.
textile park is another point. So when we give a solution, we have three solutions in mind. But now what he says, he is the governmental problem. What he says that why government's thinking should not change, that the bigger, if you want to compete China or if you want to get into the world, in a world arena, you have to shed off your old thinking. Because it is not only the generational thinking is a slipshod thinking. It's a top government thinking is a slipshod thinking. That is what he's telling.
Companies are able to
Am I right,
manage.
sir?
Companies are able to, yes sir. Companies are able to manage.
I think he probably meant as much the private sector, as RSM, WM or whatever.
No,
let's
not only
express
that,
it.
but anybody.
Anybody.
RSM
Now,
is one.
I'll sorry. Yeah.
Say for example, Khatau mills. For example, a few years back, I know of Khatau. Khatau board meeting was there. I was an invitee. One brilliant man said, all right, the government has not allowed us for the looms. They want to encourage hand loom or power loom. All right, we will patronize power loom. But our people will supervise in those days, when it is all started. Our people will supervise all the power looms, and the mark will be the brand. The mark will be Khatau supervision, Khatau process. And at that time, in those days, I'm talking earlier story, Khatau became popular, and they, with the obstacles also, they managed,
Right.
and they did very well. So my point is that the point is well taken, that we have to look it from all the sides. That it should be now in the changing times, when the textile park is an argument. Okay, sir, with the textile park, if you do not allow us to have the shades of this kind, so what is the use of textile park? What is textile park meant for? This could be an argument. Textile park बनाया क्यों है? ये शोभा के लिए तो नहीं बनाया है.
मेरा तो मानना है जब तक
क्यों
China-
मैं कर साहब?
Textile park itself is a different subject.
नहीं, it's a different.
Yeah, because
No, but
many of
can we
people
not
have taken
argue-
the money and they have gone away.
I have
No,
done
no,
park.
but can this not be argument?
Of course. No, first
This is a
time.
very strong argument.
But sir, the issue from what I understand, there is as of now from the government point of view, to the best of my knowledge, I can stand corrected, there is no restriction for the larger player getting in.
There is no restriction.
That previous power loom, handloom qualities are all gone. Anyone can put 3,000 looms if he wants, as Trident is now putting. Now the issue is ki why they don't want to put.
Restriction है?
Excise होगा.
नहीं
कुछ
restriction
नहीं
है.
है, कुछ नहीं, no
वही
restriction.
समझने की बात है क्यों लोग नहीं
The
कर रहे हैं.
promoters don't want
अभी आपने बोला ना मेंटालिटी चेंज, मेंटालिटी आगे नहीं
But
बढ़ती है.
not mentality. He is already into spinning. They are spending thousands of crores. It comes to a very, as you said,
Just
a
ask
dichotomy.
him, even his group,
Ah.
they can easily put 1 lakh spindles. But when it comes to looms, question mark.
बट सर ऐसा हो सकता है विथ इचल करेंगे हम लोग क्या है तभी अपने अपने द बिग ग्रुप्स के लुक you are afraid and you have problem of marketing, but if you use the brand, if you use the norms, if you use the properly, and if the association is with us, then we the bigger units can promote this with the parks or with all kinds of facilities. So the initiative comes from a bigger group that we are prepared to adopt you.
Provided subject to-
That kind of adoption takes place? I'm putting entirely a new idea.
Yeah, well, we can explore that idea. See, basically, let me just touch on the point that he raised. Why the bigger?
He has some point
Yeah.
before that.
Sorry.
What I was saying that the bigger groups, bigger corporate groups, they always see for their own pockets first.
See, but if there are enlightened groups also like him.
No, what he is representing, these people, they are always having fear to go.
But to alleviate that fear,
Yeah, but
Why? I'll tell you why the bigger groups are not coming. I know.
Tell me.
Because for some reason or the other, and this defies all management studies that I did, the costing or the cost structure of a bigger unit per unit weaving is higher than a smaller unit.
No, but they are adopting.
No, that is why they are adopting. They are saying it is better for me to buy because when he produces.
But let them adopt. What is wrong?
शरद भाई मैं कहता हूँ कि अभी देखो अभी प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि वी आर नाइदर बिग नॉर स्मॉल.
That's
अभी
right.
हमारे प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि हमने 100 रूम लगा लिया. अब 100 रूम पे खर्चा कर दिया. अभी अगर मैं 500 रूम लगाऊं तो मुझे 500 रूम का प्रोजेक्ट बना के दो. आप 500 रूम लगाऊं तो मेरी कॉस्ट क्या है और क्या होगा. then probably my management can take a call.
But they also resources crunch.
अभी क्या है कि
Resources
देखिए
crunch.
छोटा बड़ा अभी हम 10 मैं मयूर की बात करता हूँ. मयूर शूटिंग में 10 लाख से अटके हुए 10 लाख मीटर पे अटके हुए हैं कितने वर्षों से. आगे 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 नहीं जा पा रहे हैं. अभी हमारा खर्चा इतना है. हमारा पर मीटर खर्चा 5 रुपये मीटर आ रहा है. हम कैसे कम्पीट करेंगे. लेकिन अब 10 लाख मीटर को बढ़ा के 50 लाख मीटर की कैपेसिटी करूँ तो खर्चा सब कम हो जाएगा. कम्पीट कर पाऊंगा अभी मैं स्मॉल स्केल से.
मैं साहब इसीलिए ये सॉल्यूशन बोल रहा हूँ कि अभी आपका लिमिटेशन है विथ योर रिसोर्स क्रंच इवन फॉर अ बिग मिल 100 लूम की 200 लूम की 300 लूम की यू वांट 3000 लूम्स बट विथ दिस सम काइंड ऑफ पॉजिटिव एडॉप्शन सिस्टम्स which we can evolve then the whole thing you get your brand you get your size you get small industries अपने इंडिया की फिलोसफी में एडॉप्ट जो खटाव ने उस दिन किया we can do it in a much more refined form.
उसके बारे में सोच सकते हैं.
I think we need to move to other points
No,
also.
the point is now this
I think let's start engaging because
So now-
whatever something
so
that I
now
will be
we are
trying to
taking
clarify,
this
you can have a different view
decision
and
करने
this.
now he's writing the decision.
We can have a
आपको
resolution
कुछ-
first.
some-
Sir, I will just share my experiences of Bangkok, Indonesia, and Japan recently.
you had
Conference
a
I was
meeting
there.
very good
And I myself deal in defense camouflage textile.
defense.
Defense textiles. I buy for US forces. I buy for Middle East forces. So any big manufacturer, fabric manufacturer in the world is dealing with me. Particularly Suryatex, Danone, and couple of people in Turkey, which is being funded by US forces now. See what is, and me and Mycar, we have been trying for last I think 4 years to put up a dedicated camouflage unit in India, which is I think 400-500 crore rupees project, and standard orders throughout the orders, and all these units which are making the defense textiles, particularly camouflage fabric. It is shortage today. Deliveries are 90 days, 120 days. Like Oman, recently we have given them 2 million meters of fabric. The Oman government has agreed to pay double the cost because they wanted in 30 days time, because the soldiers have already been recruited and there was no uniform. And Sultan was very particular that don't put the people on the road till they have a proper uniform. So they said, "तुम कहीं से भी लेके आओ, double the price we'll pay," and we want it. But when you see these units, like Suryatex Indonesia, I'll give example. It has more than 4,000 looms. It has more than 5 million spindles. Their own dedicated plant, and of course polyester. As you all will know, there is one batch which runs throughout the year. On the cotton, wherever larger lots of cottons are available, they tell us that this 400 tons is coming from here. So we say you buy, we advance them. And defense textiles, camouflage fabrics, the defense people are even ready to give you the machine advances. Suppose you say now the new standard has come, or new dyeing facility has come, which is costing say $10 million. The US forces will say, okay, you buy, we are funding it, and then we will deduct it. There is a standard procedure out of it. Now these are the things we are unable to convince the top Indian people, even including Mycar, कि sir आप ऐसा एक plant डालो. The question is coming कि can we have the order, confirmed order? Now the plant is just on discussion. I said this US forces, armies and all, it's a different game altogether. So now after struggling for so long, now JCT Fagwada has reached to a stage where they can produce a, now for all these things, camouflage fabrics, just a small quality standard, that even a 5 lakh meter has to have a one standard this thing. Because camouflage, if we all are wearing camouflage, if there is a color variation, you know, when we are standing together, you can find zigzag lines. Similarly, now the 100% polyester fabric, now the Middle East, everything which is owned by army, even a tank, a car, a gun, everything has to be put into a cover. Now this cover is a 100% polyester or 100% nylon fabric printed on a camouflage. So even the forces fellows are coming, and when he is unloading the gun, first thing he will do it is put the gun into that cover, because the dust is so high. If the dust goes, and dust is very fine in couple of areas. So these are the standards. We have gone to many people across India, discussed. People are very scared. Nobody is ready to put that plant. And during my Bangkok conference, we have invited, because the number 2 man
It
of
was
the
a very good conference.
number 2 man was inaugurating, so most of the big weavers have come. And when we went to their plants and all, 1500 looms, 2000 looms, and when we asked them ki itna aap yarn kahan se lete ho, so correspondingly they told us that X unit in Indonesia is giving us 1000 ton yarn every year, every month, and standard contracts, and who are buying from you. So there are 3 companies in Japan who are buying from them for last 10 years. Now we have discussed ki sir price ka kya hota hai. So he said there are certain variables which has been designed. Since I will discuss if there is an increase in the price, then 3% plus minus we will adjust. If it is more, even